everybody? It's a new week and a new Duels of Runeterra, this time number 17. And we got a little bit of a rule change here with this particular tournament. But before we get into that, my name is Justin, also known as Shit Just Works. So if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel or like the video, because you're going to like the video. Let's be honest here. It's some pretty awesome tournament content. And that's where, this is the channel where you're going to find all the tournament content, right? We have Duels of Runeterra, we have online league series, a lot of the Brazilian tournaments we've done, the LRA, the LBR, all sorts of stuff. So whatever you guys are looking for as far as competitive Legends of Runeterra, it's going to be here. But with that said, Duels of Runeterra 17 was changed up a little bit to mimic the format of the upcoming Riot seasonal tournaments, the bi-monthly seasonal tournaments with the $10,000 grand prize. So, just trying this out a little bit, seeing how it's going to work. So, we'll go through that as we go through some of these other rounds. I'll probably do it in the introduction videos. Don't want this one to be too long, but we're going to start with round 4 this time around. There is only 5 rounds of Swiss in these particular tournaments for Duels of Runeterra, but we did actually do 2 days. And again, we'll get into that in the next video in the introduction. So, without further ado, round 4 of day 1 of Duels of Runeterra 17. We have Gavone versus Leozera. I mean, I definitely would love to see Chad make it to the finals for sure. I think that would be absolutely amazing. I think that this lineup definitely has a chance to do it too on the side of Chad. So I'll be very curious. This I think is the match, right? I think this is going to be the hard match for the Chad to be able to take it home. And with that said, that hard match is about to get started. So let's go ahead and head on into game 1. Leozera versus the Chad for Duels of Runeterra 17 round 4.
All right, we got that Swain Sejuani again, this time up against what appears to be War Mother's Call.
Yep. So this is what excites me the most about the lineup of the Chad. I love this Sejuani Swain deck. Very curious to see how it does against War Mothers here.
All right, so I got it. Are you ready for this?
Oh, let's hear it.
I finally figured out the name of the new Field of Rush decks.
Wait, you're naming the Field of Rush. Oh, this is big. You better nail this. No pressure, Boulevard.
All right. The deck formerly known as War Mothers. For like the artist formerly known as Prince.
I actually really like that. Because it hits so many things perfectly. And it basically was the deck formerly known as War Mothers. Jesus. Oh my god. So, I like how somebody typos something in chat and asked me if I want to allow it. Oh, this system. Oh, man. So, all right. Getting off to a good start here, though, on the side of Chad. We have the Wording Stone already out, going into the turn 5, or turn 4, technically, Tarkaz here. So we'll see what we're able to get accomplished. We are actually already pushing. This deck is way more aggressive, it looks like, than the War Mother's deck. So very curious to see. Okay, yeah, there's the Trundle. So the Trundle will definitely help. Notably, though, this 1 damage that the effect of Tarkaz that goes off would actually trade with this Trundle. So the next time it attacks, that's something that we're going to have to take into consideration on the side of Leozera here.
Yeah, it was really funny to watch this little Trundle bonk, or those little Tarkaz to little bonk himself in the face.
Yeah. And Swain off the top. We already have Field of Rush, too. So, interestingly enough... Well, wait. Okay, hold on. Leozera. Do we know this is War Mothers, or do we think it might be Field of Rush?
It's hard to say with the champion lineup. Okay, that is telling me it's Field of Rush 100%.
Yep. Gotta love it. So... That's a lot of tempo loss, too, especially after a Swain. Look at Chad's like, why? Why are you doing this to me, Leozera? Why introduce Hearthstone?
This is going to be a treat
game?
for us, though, because now going into Chad's attack turn, I mean, he has the Field of Rush, and that'll get a Swain and a Sejuani.
Oh
what is Leozera? I mean, Leozera can't have Ruination to answer that, and that's sort of one of the downsides of not having that Tryndamere available to you. Is it worth the risk? Like, do you think Leozera's running Ruination? I definitely think he is, and potentially even multiple copies if it is similar to the list that we saw a little bit earlier. I think going for the field rush here is really, really greedy. You can save that for, sort of your refuel a little bit later on.
Do you like that Ruination does not destroy landmarks?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think I'd want to see like there was a so in Hearthstone there was 8 mana destroy all units, and then there was I want to say it was 9 mana silence and destroy all units.
Oh yeah, the priest card, right?
Yeah, and I'd be fine seeing something like that take out landmarks, but I'd want it to be like 10 or
mana.
11 mana.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm up in the air on it. I mean, I think I'm only up in the air just because there isn't a whole lot of landmark removal right now, so we'll see what else comes out. But we are going to go ahead and get the pillar down. So I don't see... I mean, this doesn't really give you the okay to develop into a Ruination because pillar is basically a nothing card for the most part. So developing Tarkaz into this might be risky. Playing Field of Rush is risky as well. Like, it's screaming your name. You're just like, just play the card, but... Looks like we are going to go with the Tarkaz, which is kind of in the middle there.
Okay.
Voices of the Old Ones being... This is ramp if I've ever seen it.
And that's the first time I've actually seen Voices of the Old Ones ever get a card.
Yeah, wow. So this is interesting. So we could have... Well, we still don't know if Ruination's in there. He might have played that because we did see the Tarkaz come out. And we are proactively frostbiting to Culling Strike and go in for an attack. Wow, okay.
I don't hate this because
I like
now
it.
Leozera doesn't have a board. We'll have 2 random champions in hand, right? Or is it 3 random champions? I think it's only 2 random champions at this point. But we've still got the Field of Rush on backup, so if Leozera... Oh, no, we don't have the mana for Field of Rush, though, so a proactive Ruination actually wouldn't be the worst thing in the world here. Oh, but there's a Field of Rush out of Leozera. What's going to pop out of this one?
Oh, wow. And this hand on the side of the Chad is pretty bad. That animation. Gotta love it.
Oh, Trundle Tryndamere.
And what do you know? I was going to say, where's the 10-10?
Can Field of Rush get cards from hand? I thought it could.
Oh, and he's... Okay, well, there's the surrender from Chad.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, that was... Yeah. Because he was sitting on 3 Avalanche in hand, right? So that's bad. That's just really, really bad. Now, I guess my question is, how do we think that deck performs generally against War Mothers? Is that always going to be the case where it's generally losing to War Mothers? Or, sorry, to another Field of Rush deck?
It probably doesn't do great into the Shadow Isle version of Field of Rush. I do think that the Shadow Isle version is, pretty much the best. And okay, so Tom Rocca. I might just be totally off base here, but in my experience playing the Tom Rocca deck, I've actually had a pretty good time against War Mother's call decks. I think that I would have an absolutely terrible time against Field of Rush decks, though.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with you.
I think this is definitely a matchup where the Field of Rush versus the War Mothers is a big difference maker.
There is a wild Captain Farron in this deck as well. I love this deck.
Wild. Like, he's already running Tusk Raiders. This is such a high curve deck.
This deck is nuts.
And I actually really liked the Voices of the Old Ones out of Leozera because these decks are getting real expensive.
Yeah, yep. And I think, we mentioned Spider Aggro previously. I think that's why Spider Aggro is starting to actually be decent in this meta. I mean, Spider Aggro right now would probably already have like 5 units on the board with like 4 attack on each one of them. And like you don't come back from that as this deck. So it'll be interesting to see again if that deck does become more prevalent in the meta, but for the time being, no spiders, just Breakfast at Tiffany's and the deck formerly known as War Mothers. Although this technically is not.
This is Swain Sejuani.
Yeah, this is Swain Sejuani. It just happens to have Field of Rush in it.
Yeah.
Can we label this as a Field of Rush deck? Like, does it fall in the same category?
Yeah, because I think that Timo Sejuani has gained a lot of conversational traction as a Field of Rush deck.
What is it with you and this Timo Sejuani? You're like all over this.
People are talking about it. Nobody's playing it, but it's being discussed.
People have talked about Vladimir in the past as well. Doesn't mean it's a good card.
Not seriously.
Oh, man.
I mean, look, you see Field of Rush, you see, oh, look, 10-10 champion. The first thing everybody thought was, give me that 10-10 elusive Timo.
Oh, man. Well, we do have the wording stones down, so this is going to help a lot as far as ramp is concerned on the side of the Chad. Icequake, not a whole lot of something of a card. All these 8-drops in hand, too, feel really bad.
Yeah, why is there a Captain Farron in this deck when we're already running Tusk Raiders, Leviathans, and, we just missed Trundle so much that we had to put an Icequake in the deck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's just... it actually took a second to click in my head that this was actually main decked, because I feel like I just assume there's a Trundle on board when I see an Icequake. Actually getting a little bit of work done there, so that's good. The Broadback Protector, I don't really think is going to do too much. So... Star Shepherd coming in as well. We still notably cannot play any of these 8-mana units.
No.
Thank God we draw a Sejuani, because honestly, we need that. I think going into turn 8... Oh, wait, we still... All right, we couldn't even play Field of Rush. We can't play Field of Rush until turn 9, which is going to be our next attack turn.
I don't even know if we can, because we're probably going to play an 8-drop on turn 8, and that means we're only floating 2 mana into the following turn.
Oh, wait, yeah, 2, 8, 9... Yeah, no, I think you're right. So, yeah, we're going to be 1 short... Field of Rush is just chilling for a while, and that's really unfortunate.
We could pass on 8 in order to Field of Rush next turn if we really wanted to.
Okay,
that feels so awkward with this many 8-drops in hand.
Yeah, especially drawing the second Tusk Raider, like, that feels really bad. And I don't think there's ever a reason why you'd want to play this Avalanche over any of that other stuff. You're not really ever worried about aggression from this Tom Rocket deck, right?
Well, I mean, when they have Mentor of Stones on field, you are. Because if you take this damage, you go down to 4 HP. You really don't have a lot of healing in this deck. And if you die to the damage of the Tom Raka, I mean, there's no Star Spring for your opponent just yet, which means that is their game plan right now, to try and kill you that way.
Yeah, and as the Bing search bar in chat mentioned, God, it would feel good to have a Trundle on board right now. That is the card that we so desperately need, and just did not find this game. God, that's really unfortunate. And it's interesting. We are trading the Wording Stone, or Chad's deciding to trade this Wording Stone here, which I actually like, because it doesn't really matter that we're getting the additional mana next turn, because as you pointed out, Boulevard, we're going to be short of being able to play Field of Rush regardless. So we can just go into the next turn and just, like, Field of Rush is not a priority at this point.
No. And now this Swain is going to level off of these first 3 Leviathan ticks, and our opponent is really low on cards. They will start to be able to draw a little bit because they will be able to level the Soraka here.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. As big of health that these units can get for the Tom Rocket deck, these units are really bigger in Chad's deck. So I think that because we haven't seen the Star Spring come down yet, I think Chad will be able to seal the deal on this one now that we've kind of stabilized. And I think that's why Leozera went for the aggressive approach that he did, right? I mean, that's why we're seeing, these attacks from Leozera come out so early. That's why we're seeing things like this gem. We're going to try to get a big Star Shepherd. We're going to try to, get this Soraka leveled up, draw some more cards going for an attack. And I don't think it's going to work. I think that Chad's stabilized and we'll be able to seal the deal in the next couple of turns.
Why did we gem the Soraka?
Yeah, that struck me as odd too. It doesn't get a...
It'll turn it into a fearsome blocker when it levels, but it's not leveled yet. We do need to use this. I mean, the last gem will level it, and then we kind of see what Leozera wants to use in order to draw a card this turn with the Raka, but yeah, at the moment, just burst passing.
Yeah, I imagine there's probably a Guiding Touch or an Astral Protection in hand. If that's the case, like you said, it does provide a fearsome blocker. And it provides...
Well, it's not a fearsome blocker on the attack unless... Because, I mean, anything that he had, a Pale Cascade specifically, or... I mean, the only thing I could think would be bastioning the Rocket up to a fearsome blocker, but that does still feel a little bit weird. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. This is a really big attack from Chad. I don't know how much I love all of the attacks here. It is still a little bit awkward just because there are so many high health units on your opponent's side of the field.
Is the Soraka at 3 out of 4?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no. So if he burst healed one of his units, then the Soraka would be able to block this turn.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So then I guess the question is then this 4/7 Swain, or I guess it doesn't matter now, but I was going to say, how do you get the Soraka above the 7 health? And I guess that at that point it would be something like Bastion on top of the Guiding Touch.
Why does he play Reckoning?
What?
He's about to destroy Leozera's board, but for all the 8 drops he has, he's got this Reckoning.
What is this deck?
Oh,
he's
man.
he's smirking a little bit too.
He knows this is about to come in really big here.
Like, what? So here's the one concern, right? This the Star Shepherd is outside of Reckoning range, and a Pale Cascade actually counters this a little bit too.
Well, the other problem is that Reckoning currently would kill your Swain.
Oh yeah, yep. That is a problem.
You could just feel the rush instead.
Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we do have Feel the Rush mana, so I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Like this Soraka spell is cool, but there's no Star Spring on board.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, playing Wish with a Star Spring on board feels so satisfying.
And playing it without it feels so bad.
Yeah. Basically played 3 mana to draw a card.
I don't know if Feel the Rush is correct. I don't care.
No, it is.
Granted, it will get you to stun 6 units with that Leviathan, right?
If you play Tusk Raider, if you summoned a champion that was above 10/10, it's still gonna set it to 10/10, right? Because doesn't it say set it to 10/10?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so you actually would lose attack at that point. I don't know. This is such a weird deck.
Just trying to imagine Nautilus coming out as a 10/10 and feeling bad about that.
I feel like Chad went into this tournament. He's like, you know what? Everybody's playing big decks, and nobody really is caring.
I'm going to play the biggest
Yeah, I'm going to play the biggest deck possible and just wreck everybody. And this is what we're seeing here. I really do love these animations randomly. They're so good.
Me too. Yeah, there we go. 2 Swains.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I thought 2 Boats was good. Let's talk about 2 Captains.
Yeah, and only 1 fearsome blocker
no blockers. There are 5 stuns coming out of this
never
Leviathan.
mind. Wow.
This
yeah, because there's two.
should be
Because
game
there's 2
over.
swings.
I think the only chance that Leozera would have had is if there was old Hush, so that you could hush some blockers as well as hush these 10/10s. But no, that is going to be a lot of damage represented on the side of Gavone.
Wow, that's insane. So that is one of the biggest boards I've ever seen for a victory. So
Definitely outside of Asol, yeah.
that's insane. So actually, I want to bring this point up again because somebody in chat said the word on the card is raise, which I think that's accurate. And I wonder if that was coded properly, because if you're bringing, let's say the champion is already at 11/11.
Yeah.
And you play that card, and you're playing a card that says to raise an 11/11 to 10/10.
So Lulu will not reduce the stats of units, and I believe she says raise to 4/4.
Oh, yeah, she does also say raise. Okay, and okay, yeah, that's right. I've seen it with Zed and stuff buffed. So
yeah.
Okay.
And if you have something like, say you have a 5/1 and you try to raise it to a 4/4, it'll turn into a 5/4.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I do, man, I think that they need to change the way that set and raise and like all those keywords for raising and lowering attack. I think they need to be kind of streamlined. I know they've done it with words in the past as well. I'm curious to see how they do that, or if they think that needs to be done. But for the meantime, we got War Mothers again going up against Tom Rocca, but now that feels bad.
Now we have Star Spring on field, but I mean, we have a lot of ramp. We have War Mothers and we have Atrocity.
And I guess the caveat is you never block anything and you're never putting damage onto Leozera's field. So in general, this Star Spring actually isn't going to get any procs for at least a few turns.
Yeah. You do need to find some self-damaging units.
Yeah.
Tom Kench going to be a good start to things, but I mean, if things get hairy, Chad has the Ruination button.
Yeah, Ruination this early is actually really good because, I mean, this is, all right, listen, first off, let me just throw this out. This opener for Leozera is nuts. This is exactly the curve you want. You want Star Shepherd into Star Spring, into Soraka, into Tom Kench. Boom, you've usually won the game. The question then is on the side of the Chad, are we using Ruination? Are we going to get rid of this field? I think for the time being, the answer is no, because nothing's damaged. I think you want your opponent, I think you want Leozera to invest in self-damaging units, cards that buff health, things of that nature before you actually play this Ruination, because Star Spring is not a danger right now.
I think you want to go hard this turn for Chad because you really need 4 mana to protect the Tom Kench alongside using that, devouring spell. And I mean, yeah, you might be sacrificing your Wording Stone here, but honestly, I never felt like the Tom level up meant a whole lot in this matchup. I'm more so trying to use it to, and like if we see Vile Feast in response here, For 3 mana, I don't know if there's anything outside of Pale Cascade specifically that
Sunblessed
Leozera
Vigor.
can actually have. Sunblessed Vigor, yeah, something that we don't always see in these lists, but yeah, Sunblessed or Pale Cascade have to be the play out of Leozera, and he doesn't have either.
And that is a big deal because, not so much because Tom Kench dies, because that's not really, that doesn't matter. It's just that there's no healable units on the side of Leozera's field. And okay, there's the Boxtopus, so we are going to get some heal coming out. And, man, we brushed over that one. You said go hard, man.
Yeah.
That's a card.
Oh my god.
I just really wanted to make a comment, and then we passed it, and we just flew over it.
There are some cardinal rules of League of Legends that any experienced player will tell you. Don't chase Singed is one of them. Like, don't chase Nidalee, stuff like that. In Legends of Runeterra, we have don't block Soraka.
Yeah, okay. I was like, why? Please don't block. Why would you ever block 1 damage?
To try and kill it with Withering Wail on the following turn.
But then the Star Spring's going to put it at 2. That's
I think that's where the consideration came in, where he was like, wait, this doesn't actually work.
Oh, man.
Oh, but there was a second Withering Wail. SJW, I mean, he only has 9 mana, but...
He knew the top deck. That's what it was.
I'm actually surprised to see him pass here. Its second Wording Stone means War Mothers.
Yeah, and I think Leozera is noticing that. I think he wasn't expecting Leozera to pass is the issue. So
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Now, on the bright side, actually...
Or can you? Is it another 10-headed bait?
This is unfortunate. Because of that pass, we actually can't play Ruination and still have mana for War Mother's next turn, which is really, really bad. And this is definitely a prime field that you'd want to go ahead and play Ruination on with these units being damaged. I think you're still, still okay allowing these units to heal and allowing this Star Spring to kind of get some procs off here, because it's not really close to winning the game yet. But yeah, that pass might end up really biting Chad in the ass here.
And this is his tournament life that he's fighting for right now. Winner of this will move on to the 4-0 bracket. And I mean, I think on the EU side, we did see X and 1s have to play for that 4th place spot. But I mean, that's someone who lost in the last round. Here we're going to see the Rocky Heel didn't play anything again. And I think he's torn between throwing out this War Mothers and setting up for a good Ruination.
Yeah.
Okay, this War Mothers is straight gasoline. All of the Wording Stones are out of the deck.
Yup. This and the Avarosian Hearthguards are out. So this is always going to get Tryndamires, Trundles. I don't imagine anything else. Wait, what?
He plays Anivia, not Trundle.
There's really? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Trundle's in his mystery last deck that we don't know that. I think Guarjad pointed out is probably Ramp Soul.
Wow. Interesting. So, wait. So yeah, it's really kind of unfortunate that Anivia is in this deck. And he plays Rekindler. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten Rekindler on War Mothers and I want to kill myself.
I can't tell you how many times I've tried to talk him out of this one Rekindler, but we are going to see it. Unfortunately, grab nothing, but I mean, you've got the War Mothers going. Is this the turn where you just fire off this Ruination?
So here's the problem.
Lay it on me.
Actually, okay, no, never mind. That's the solution. So, I was going to say the problem is he's kind of field locked because of these Hearthguards.
Yeah.
And this Rekindler now just being nothing. But Ruination, yeah, 100%. You have to Ruination. You literally have to Ruination to make way for better units that'll actually win the game for you.
And it looks like he is going to agree. It would have been nice to have a little bit of extra mana left over just so that if our opponent did have a Bastion, we have the Flash Freeze to go ahead and pop that, because Flash Freeze is never getting value in this matchup outside of popping a Bastion. But I really want to get this Ladros online, especially given that we do have the Atrocity in hand. But I like the Ruination, just clearing through as much of the board as possible. The Anivia will survive. Oh, there's the Hush onto the Anivia, so not going to survive, but... no protection coming out of Leozera. He's going to have a little bit of room to rebuild the board, but it's not like he's going to be able to develop into 19 damage.
Yeah.
The Star Spring is, not super close to leveling. Soraka redeveloped, so we still have that draw power going. Things not necessarily looking bad for Leozera here, though he is running a little low on cards. A second Ruination would almost certainly spell the end here.
Yeah, second Ruination would be great, especially if there is Tryndamere in here, right? No Trundle?
Yeah, there's Tryndamere.
If a Trundle comes off top, or even an Anivia. So getting these Anivias feels really bad right now, though. Like, it's 100% not the card that you want.
No.
just because of how much heal and the Star Spring and all that good stuff. So we'll see if we do attack with the Hearthguard. This feels so bad.
Yeah, I don't know about this attack. I think you really need to try and one-shot your opponent in a matchup like this. So just like play patiently, wait for these Tryndamirs, understand that currently Leozera is really not threatening you in any way.
Yeah. This is such an, this is kind of why I like this deck that we have so dubbed Breakfast at Tiffany's, Rockatom, is it gets you to think differently. This is very much a different deck archetype than what we're used to. And it gets you to the point where you don't want to attack because you don't want to put damage towards their win condition, which they could heal. So it's just much different deck to play against than what we're used to.
There we go. Tryndamere number 1 and Atrocity number 2. He... so normally he would have lethal, but this is a deck that plays Hush.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
well, we already saw one come out. Wait, did we see 2? I feel like I've seen a lot of Hush today.
We've only seen one this game. But, I mean, yeah, Chad's fine to just sit here and wait. This second unit should either be a Tryndamere or a Commander Ladros. There's the Ladros. And there's no fearsome blockers on the side of Leozera. I think pretty sure this should just be lethal because now Leozera has to use the Hushes on the attacks, and then you can go ahead and double Atrocity this Tryndamere on the following turn.
This is game. Because, and that's the thing, one of the weaknesses with this Rockatom deck is there's really no defensive things minus the Hush.
I was going to say, actually, how close is the Star Spring? Because if Leozera could survive the attack and then, like, double Astral Projection... And, oh, no, it doesn't matter because Star Spring wins at end of round. Never mind. Yeah. I always forget it doesn't automatically win when you hit that 22.
Yeah, no, that's actually a big deal, too, because it still gives your opponent a chance to win the game. Does he technically live here?
Not through double Atrocity.
No, but he lives through this attack anyways.
Yeah, he lives through the attack. Congratulations, Leozera, you have lived through the attack, but congratulations to Chad Stride, as you will be the one moving on to 4-0, assuming that you can play Atrocity.
Wow.
You only need one.
Don't mess it up.
You only need one.
Don't mess it up.
You could even screw one up and throw it at your own face.
Imagine that. Would you ever do that in a tournament?
No, I don't like to BM.
Oh, man. I'm going to kill myself before I kill you. Seems right. And, wow. The Chad taking it away there versus Leozera. That was one heck of a game. And, again, with a huge smile on Chad's face. Hopefully, we can see him go 5-0 here. All right, and Gavone taking a W there over Leozera. Going to advance to 4-0. So, with the way this tournament is structured, we're going to see if Gavone can go ahead and make top cut, as it is cut to a top 4. You will need to go 5-0 in order to get into that top 4. So, as always, everybody, stay tuned for the next video. Stay positive. I hope shit just works for you, and peace out.